You were named Australian Father of the Year in 2008. There is no better parallel to get buy-in than having kids. So I'm curious as to, and it seemed that in a lot of interviews you spoke about making decisions together as a family, which I found quite interesting. So I guess, what is your perspective as a parent? How did you view that principally going into it?
Yeah, probably the first fallacy is this notion of work-life balance. I mean, to sort of think that that's my work and that's my home, it's your life. It's not work-life balance. It's life balance, because that's your life. I always found it quite amusing. Well, how do you get work-life balance? Well, you don't. It's your life.
Yeah.
So you're balancing your life. And I think that's, as soon as you get that in your head as a CEO, a footy coach, a player, or a sales rep or whatever, then how do I get my life in order? That's a really good starting point. So for me, that was the first stage. What I'm doing is with my family. Regardless of what I do, that's my life.
Yeah.
So then, the starting point is that, and then my kids were young when I took over at Sydney, but we still engaged them in the conversation and still spoke about it. And then if we're doing this together collectively, what part of my job can they be involved in? What part of my job can't they be involved in? And then you're making completely different decisions if you're looking at as your life balance, not your work-life balance. So that's probably the best tip I can give is, clearly my kids were never going to sit in the coach's box with me and coach and sitting in meetings and all that sort of stuff. So there's clearly going to be restrictions for everything you do. But I think if you're including your family in what you're doing, then it becomes so much easier that when you're not getting home, you don't have to drop your work, because it is your work. Your work is, so that's probably the biggest way I looked at it. We decided to stop, and then I decided to do it again, asked the boys and spoke to them about it. So I think the fact that we had that as a starting point was really good.
Yeah, because it's things that Lauren and I think about as we get to a stage when we'll probably have kids. I'm curious as to, have your boys ever spoken to you about that fact, that they've appreciated it, or that it just really helped them give clarity on how they fit into the picture? Like, I guess that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, definitely. No, look, we just did a book called The Fatherhood. And Dylan and I sat down for the interview and did it together. So it was really cool listening to him. And I think, again, it's his perspective. And one of the things he said is, look, well, Dad was just always there. He just always turned up. We knew if he couldn't, but most of the time he'd get on a midnight flight from Perth, and he'd arrive at 6 a.m. and get out, and he'd turn up at our footy game. So that was really cool to hear that they found that it wasn't an effort. It's just what I did. It's because I wanted to do it. So I didn't do it consciously. I did it because I wanted to spend time with my family. I wanted to put as much time into my work as I possibly could. The moments for me are the greatest moments, is to have them on the field, winning 05, premiership. When I took one of the main reasons I took the job at Melbourne is I remember, I came home, I'd met with the leadership group, and I started getting text messages from a number of the leaders, and Dylan was, what's that, mate? So I was text message from Jack Grimes and Jack Trengove, and Dylan goes, Dad, you have to do it. You just have to do it. They deserve more than what they're getting, sort of type thing. So, and so to have him say that, I probably didn't coach Dylan as much as I did Tyler, and to have Tyler talk about the impact that it had on him and his footy career and all that sort of stuff. So, and I think the other message that I try to portray is, don't think it has to be something massive. Don't wait for the holiday in Aspen or the holiday to Disneyland or the Hawaii or whatever. Just do it. Just do it. We used to have breakfast together every Thursday morning, and then I'd drop them off at Wallara, public school, primary school. I'd get to training most nights and either help the other coaches or whatever. So don't wait for the big moment, because the big moment might never turn up, So just get into a really good rhythm. I think saying no is really important as well, learn how to say no. But hearing your kids talk about it and the impact that it had, clearly I've made some mistakes as well. But, I think they would never say that I wasn't there and didn't try and make an effort to do that.